Medication abortion, which typically involves mifepristone, accounts for a majority of the abortions in the United States, making regulatory changes to its distribution significant in terms of access and policy. A major federal court ruling this past week is changing how the abortion pill can be accessed across the United States. On May 1st, 2026, the U.S. Court of Appeals from the Fifth Circuit issued a temporary ruling that pauses a recent federal policy governing how the drug mifepristone can be distributed. At issue is a 2023 rule from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration that allowed mifepristone to be described via telehealth and mailed directly to patients. That policy expanded access by removing the long-standing requirement that the drug be dispensed in person. In response to a legal challenge by the state of Louisiana, the Fifth Circuit granted an emergency motion to stay the rule while the case proceeds through the courts. As a result of today's decision, the 2023 FDA policy is temporarily blocked. That means, for now, mifepristone can no longer be distributed by mail under the rule and must instead follow earlier, more restrictive protocols, which generally require in-person dispensing. The court's ruling is not a final decision on the merits of the case. It is a temporary measure intended to preserve the status quo while the legal challenges continue. Mifepristone remains approved by the FDA and its use is still legal under federal law. However, today's ruling changes how the drug can be accessed, at least in the short term. The case is expected to continue through the appeals process and could ultimately be reviewed by the U.S. Supreme Court. Medication abortion, which typically involves mifepristone, accounts for a majority of the abortions in the United States, making regulatory changes to its distribution significant in terms of access and policy. We'll continue to follow this case closely and break down what it means right here on the Inside Track.